Hello my kawaii peoples, and welcome back to my channel. Today I thought I should do a get to know me video slash 15 facts about me, because I've noticed that all the videos that I've posted is either a review or something that happened that day or just me talking about things, but you guys don't really know much about me. And even though I do have a blog, a lot of you guys don't know that I have a blog and I am a small YouTuber, so obviously I wouldn't get a lot of reads on my posts. But I was hoping that this video could kind of introduce you guys to me, even though you guys know me. So fact number 1 is that I first got into J fashion, aka Harajuku fashion, Lolita fashion, as you see me in today, when I was in 7th grade. And I would have to say I got into like Lolita fashion and Harajuku fashion at the end of 7th grade, meaning like closer to the summer, like the end of the school year. I found out about Lolita fashion and I've been in love with J fashion ever since. I used to watch a series by Danny Cho and it was called, I think it was called Culture Japan. So that used to be one of my favorites. Like, I really got interested in Japanese pop culture. I really love Japanese fashion, and I got into Japanese fashion when I was in 7th grade. So now fact number 2 is that I actually really used to be in love with dubstep, and now it's funny because I don't listen to dubstep at all. Like, I thought that me listening to dubstep was not a phase, but I guess me listening to dubstep actually was a phase, because I started listening to dubstep when I was in 7th grade, and I think I stopped listening to dubstep like so frequently when I was in 10th, 11th grade. I think it has to be like 10th and 11th grade, like that transitioning period. So now moving on to the third fact is that I used to be online a lot when I was younger. I still kind of am now, but I used to go onto online sites such as Gaia Online, and I was actually on Gaia Online for quite a while. So now fact number 4 would have to be that the first anime that I've ever watched besides Naruto, because you know, back in the day everybody used to watch Naruto, like at least catch Naruto like every week, or at least watch like one episode of Naruto in their life. They had to, at least. Besides Naruto, I watched Shugo Chara. I always call it Shugo Chakra. I always call it Shugo Chakra. I don't know why, but throughout all my years of like knowing that anime, I always call it Shugo Chakra. That's just the way that I say it. But Shugo Chara, that used to be my favorite anime when I was younger. When I was younger, I was really into YouTube like through 5th grade to like about now, because I still am a daily user. I use YouTube a lot. I use YouTube every single day, and I am a YouTuber now. So what I used to do back in the day was I used to go ahead and watch AMVUs on like cute animes and stuff like that, not like the serious ones, because I've always been into like really cute animes. I used to watch cutesy stuff like that, and I kept on wondering like, what's this anime? The girl with the pink hair and then the guy with the blonde hair. There's a lot of animes like that, but you know what I'm talking about. So I was always wondering like, what's that anime? Like, what's the name of that anime? Until one day I finally found out, and then after that I was like, okay, I know the name, but like, where do I watch it? Like, I had no idea where to watch anime. So then that's when I used Crunchyroll to watch the first anime that I've ever watched, but sadly I have never completed it. So now moving on to the 5th fact. I know you guys may not expect this one, but I actually do like reading manga. I read manga a lot more often now these days. I don't really watch anime so much, but I really do read manga very often. And my very first manga book was Loveless, which is a yaoi manga, and I got that book when I was in 6th grade. And it's funny because I went to Barnes and Nobles and I went to look for the manga, because by the time I was in the 6th grade I was already into reading manga, right? So I went to go look for manga to read. I didn't really want to buy anything, I just wanted to read something. Now, I didn't know anything about yaoi or Loveless or anything, but then I went into the manga section and then I was looking through books or whatever, and then I just happened to pick up, I think, chapter 6 of like Loveless. I'm not sure what chapter it was, and with that book I got into yaoi, and I actually became more interested in reading manga. And I didn't know anything about yaoi before then, and my mom had no idea that it was a yaoi manga. She still up to this day doesn't know what it is. But sadly, I lost that book like that same year. It was just like, I think a month later I lost that book because I left it in a classroom and then I couldn't find it afterwards. So I don't know if I secretly introduced somebody else into yaoi or into Loveless, but needless to say, Loveless is one of my favorite yaois. My favorite yaoi though is Junjo Romantica. That's like hands down the best yaoi series, Junjo Romantica. Yes, I still do love Loveless and it's still like on my top list, but you know what's on top of the list is definitely Junjo Romantica. So now number 6, I don't know if I should do it this way or that way, but yeah, number 6 is that I used to make videos back in the day when I was in 6th and 7th grade and also 8th grade, but I never posted them because I was just too shy to like get myself out there. And now these days I'm a little less shy to post YouTube videos, knowing how like nobody knows about me. That makes me feel a little bit better, knowing that I can say what I want and be myself and I don't have like a huge media crowd and all of that. Like, it makes me feel better knowing that I have a small community of people who know me. I have no access to them right now, but as soon as I do have access, I'll probably wait like maybe a year or so of being on YouTube and then I'll make a reaction to them. I feel like it's gonna be really cringy, but I do want to react to them one day. So now number 7 is that Animal Crossing and Pokemon games were my 2 favorite childhood games. My very first Animal Crossing game was Animal Crossing Wild World. Before that, I knew nothing of Animal Crossing. I was a time traveler, much like everyone else. I never knew how to fish. Actually, in the very beginning of Wild World, I didn't know how to fish. I didn't know how to do any of that. And it's funny because I got that game when I was in 5th grade and I was playing it like all throughout, but I just never knew how to fish. I never knew how to catch bugs. The only thing that I would do in order to like pay off my debit was to go ahead and get like rare fruit, plant them, and then time travel to go ahead and pick the fruit and then sell them. It sounds so stupid, but I used to do that back then because I never knew how to do anything. Like, I brought it used, so it didn't come with like a tutorial, so I honestly didn't know what to do. But I did have a lot of favorite villagers back in the day. Now I don't really remember because all of them have moved out. But from Wild World, I went straight on to Animal Crossing New Leaf, which I really loved. I spent like most of my summer last year playing that game. Animal Crossing does have a big place in my heart, and I also did get Happy Home Designer. I'm hoping that this summer or like this Christmas or whatever, they come out with a new game because I need something new already. But also, as I mentioned, Pokemon was also one of my favorite childhood games, and my very first Pokemon game that I got was actually Pokemon Platinum. So I haven't really been playing Pokemon for a very long time because, as you know, Platinum did come out a while ago, but it's not like it came out like, you know, like centuries ago. Oh my god, like, no, it came out like, you know, about 5-6 years ago. I don't know, don't quote me on that because honestly I don't know. But yeah, I really used to love Pokemon Platinum. That's the first game that got me into Pokemon. And then I brought Pearl and Diamond, but those two I unfortunately lost. But after that, I started buying every Pokemon game that came out. But I haven't brought in Pokemon Sun and Moon because over time, I guess I realized that Pokemon, it had such a strong value to me when I was younger, but now I feel that I've gotten older, I've kind of lost interest in Pokemon. So now fact number 8 is that I actually grew up listening to Jamaican dancehall music and also reggaeton because my mom is Dominican American, but she really likes Jamaican dancehall music. And I guess around the time when she was a teenager, Jamaican dancehall music became like really popular. I think that's what it really was. It was like really trendy. So now even up to this day, my mom, she still buys CDs and all of that. And you know, I think it's cool because it like introduces me to like new music. But I grew up with this, so it's kind of like it introduces me to like new songs, and I really like Jamaican dancehall music as well, because whenever I need to get a good sweat and you know, whenever I need to get a good dance out of me, then I find my songs. And also I used to listen to a lot of reggaeton because my stepdad and his whole side of the family and his friends and all of that, he's Hispanic, so of course I would get that influence as well. So now moving on to fact number 9, my favorite music genres are K-indie, future funk, lo-fi, and rap at the moment. So now we're moving on to number 10, and number 10 is that my favorite artist of all times, Small Circle of Friends, which is a Japanese band, and a lot of people have never heard of them before. But the reason why I know about them is because one summer I was over my grandma's house and I was watching the Funimation channel, and they were playing Samurai Champloo, and then at the end, Small Circle of Friends had one of their songs playing as the ending of that anime. I don't know what season it was, but that's the way that I found out about them, and I was like, wait, like this actually sounds pretty good. So then I started doing more research on Small Circle of Friends, and now I am a Small Circle of Friends fanatic. I feel like their music is so spiritual to me, and it really moves me. Like whenever I'm mad, I just play some Small Circle of Friends, and it's like, you know, I'll calm down. And now moving on to the second one, which is Lucid Fall. He is a K-indie artist, and I just love his songs, and that's all I have to say. Lucid Fall is like, I really love him. Moving on to number 3, which is Vivid Blaze. And I found out about Vivid Blaze is because of Danny Cho's series, as I was talking about before, Culture Japan. There's not a lot online about Vivid Blaze. The only way you could really know Vivid Blaze is from the series Culture Japan. So now moving on to number 4, it would have to be Hummin' Urban Stereo, which I know you guys have saw is a part of my April favorites. They're also in my May favorites, but I won't be making a May favorites video because I feel like it's already too late for that, and I honestly feel like I didn't really do much, and much wasn't going on in May. So now number 5, and the last one, would have to be Vanilla Acoustic, which is another K-indie band. I forgot to mention that Humming Urban Stereo is a K-indie band. So now on to 11. This is 10 and this is the 1, so it's 11 now. So the 2 people that had got me into Lolita fashion would have to be Princess Peachy on YouTube and also Shelby Cloud, who was very active on YouTube back in the day, but unfortunately she's not very active anymore, but Princess Peachy still is from time to time. So those 2 YouTubers will always have a place in my heart for getting me interested in Lolita fashion and also in Japanese fashion in general, because I became interested in Lolita fashion first, and eventually that led on to other fashions. I'm not 100% a Lolita, and I'm not part-time a Lolita either. I just have a couple of Lolita dresses that I had owned before. So now fact number 12 is that I used to want to be a fashion designer back in the day. With my new love for Japanese fashion and Lolita fashion, I felt like I wanted to be a fashion designer. So now number 13 is that my obvious goal in life was that I wanted to live in Japan. But recently I have changed it up, and now I want to travel to Japan, like in the future. I want to travel there like a few times a year. So now number 14, and we're actually getting really close to the end of this video, is that my zodiac sign is Aquarius. For those of you who didn't know, I don't think I ever mentioned that on my channel before. And my Chinese zodiac is the tiger, and I know a lot of people didn't believe me when I told them I was a tiger because I was born in 1999, which means that I am the generation that's like the last 90s baby, and they thought that I was, I think, a rabbit, but because of the time I was born, I'm actually a tiger. So now the last fact about me. Aren't you glad that this video is coming to an end? So that way you can process it all in your head, like, okay, so this is who Sue is. I enjoy watching cartoons more than watching TV shows, reality TV shows, or anything. And that's something that kind of annoys my friends at times, because they tell me, hey, watch Empire, or did you see the new episode of this, that, and the third? And it's like, even though I am old and I am graduating this year, and as you guys may guess, I am 18 years old. I probably don't look like I'm 18. With makeup, I think I don't look like I'm 18, but without makeup, I probably do look old. But I really like watching cartoons, and I don't know why, like, it's just something kind of new with me. Like, before it used to be anime, and before it used to be this, that, and the third, and now it's just cartoons. So there we go. Those were 15 facts about me. me that you obviously didn't know, because in a lot of my videos I don't really talk about myself. I just talk about a whole bunch of other things. But I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope that you guys learned a little bit more about me, and I hope that there was a couple of things that you found in common with me. So thank you so much for watching, guys, and be sure to look forward to my new videos.